10th, 2020. It is now 6 o'clock. I call the meeting to order. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Discussion, vote, adjust agenda if, roll call of directors. I'm sorry. Director Garcia,
Here.
Director Gibson,
Here.
Director Kelling,
Here.
Director Nyman's here, Director Schoenberg.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. On to number 2, discussion, vote, adjust agenda if necessary.
Okay, I'd like to table some items.
Okay,
I'm interested in tabling the minutes. I'm not sure if everybody else is because I didn't have enough time to read them because we got this a little bit late. I'm interested in, so that would be item number, I don't know if other people are interested in that or not. That would be
24.
item 24. I would like to table and move to the next week's meeting. I would also like to table the discussion vote number 10 on book asset detail because nothing has really changed on that. And I think it's more important to go over the 5-year budget. And since we want to put that up on the website. And then also the the item number 18, I don't have anything ready for that. The discussion vote on creating a will serve letter and conditional will serve letter, unless someone else has something ready for that.
No,
Yeah, I don't have a
we
problem.
could also table number 21 because on the next regular meeting, I'm going to do 2 employee evaluations, so we could do the wage table at the same time.
On the regular meeting?
Yeah,
Okay. So I would,
Next week.
not next week, the regular meeting.
yeah, the next regular meeting, yeah.
That would be in January, right?
Yes.
So I'll accept that amendment on my motion and I'll move that we table the items I mentioned.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Director Garcia is seconded. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman, aye. Director Schoenberg, and
Aye.
aye. Okay. Tiffany, just a point of information on the meeting minutes. You need to review all of them because on the motions you have them as 400 and a lot of them Becky was absent, so it should be like 410 or 401, however that's supposed to be.
It's on there correctly. We can go over that later then.
Oh, okay. All right.
No worries.
I just because I always have to say with the number, and so all right, that's fine. So we'll talk about that later. Okay. Moving right along. Number 3, any public comments? Hearing no public comments. Report of officers. President?
Done today.
Yeah, Vice President has none. Secretary?
I have none.
Treasurer?
Yeah, so I made a bunch of transfers. I didn't have time yet to send the copies to Linda. I can do that during this meeting if I get a minute. But basically what I transferred, well, I guess I can go over all the transfers during the financials. So I just want people to know that I made all of the transfers that Linda had on the financials, with the exception of one shortage that was in the reserve account. And then I transferred, I set up the monthlies. I'll try to send that out to Tiffany, to you, and to Linda before the financials. So, and I also transferred the one of the claim 5 admin costs back into our operating revenue fund, but I did not have the correct number for the claim 4 costs, so I need that. And it's also going to, there's a little issue because the state's been rounding down when it's like, even though it's over 50 cents, they're rounding the number on the check they're sending to us, which I think we had brought up on another meeting, but they're actually rounding it down.
Well, Director Schoenberg, what's weird is because on the meeting minutes, I was looking at that, and it said that we received the check 12,564, which would have been rounded up.
No, it would have been exact. Oh yeah, it would have been rounded up, but that's not what made it into the deposit. It didn't say 64, it said 63. I looked on the bank. I
Oh,
looked directly at the bank.
okay, well, maybe
So either
something's
wrong.
funky there.
Yeah. So we need to talk, we need to figure that out. So yeah, but anyway, I made quite a few of those transfers, and I'm missing that one transfer, which I need to figure out. I'm afraid to do it until I know the exact amount, so I don't want to go too
Tiffany,
low.
do you have the copy of that check on claim 5?
I do in my office.
Could you look at that and let us know what the check actually was for exactly?
Yeah, let me go grab it.
And so that's all I believe I have, because the other stuff will come up in the unfinished business and financial. So, and I'm going to try to send right now, if I can, the copies of all the transfers.
Okay. We'll
Aye.
just we'll wait for a second for Tiffany.
Yeah, but can't she do that in the financials?
Okay,
Yeah.
JPIA representative,
Nothing.
nothing. Okay. Number 5, are there any board member initiatives?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, Director Garcia.
Yes, a couple weeks ago, or last week, whatever, it's been a while. Johnny needed some signatures at my, and I was tied up at my house, so it was close enough. He was able to run them up for me to sign for him. While he was there, he got to talking to, or it came up that we're looking for bids for the office painting, and I happen to have a longtime associate working on my house, and he asked me, hey, the COVID's hit me kind of hard, and I could use the extra work. As what's the minimum qualifications of putting a bid in? I said, well, we're looking for contractors that have, and insurance and stuff like that. And he goes, would they consider entertaining a bid for me? I don't have a contractor's license, but I have 35 years of verifiable experience in the movie industry doing movies, long feature films, and TV. Plus, my company, I've had jobs where I needed the $1 million policy, and I can take that out per project. And I said I didn't know, and I couldn't make the decision on my own, so I'd bring it to the board and see if they would be willing to entertain a bid from him to do the work. I can vouch for the quality of his work, but and he has a verifiable MDBD or whatever you call it, a list of all the movies and things that he's worked on. So I think the quality would be there, and he's willing to have the insurance policy. And I just wonder if that would be acceptable to the rest of the board members.
So you're saying that he can be bonded, but he's not licensed?
Yes.
So how would we, if he did something wrong, how would we go back after him if he doesn't have a license? I mean, the bonding's really covering him for more for if he got hurt on the job.
Well, there's a couple ways of going about doing business like that. First of all, you inspect the work prior to paying the final payment. And he also mentioned that he would not want to do it as a lump sum, but he would break it out, the exterior as one portion and the interior as another. And so that again, first step of guaranteeing that you got what you pay for or getting what you pay for, you inspect it. And you are obviously checking the material that's going in to what you agree on, and the quality of the work will be performed right in front of your eyes. So I don't know what you're worried about or what could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, and I did enough painting in my life to where I could inspect it and make sure while he's doing it that he's,
Priming,
scraped it all
patching,
and putty,
sanding.
done all that and make sure that it's good. So I'm not opposed to doing it. Like you said, if he doesn't do a good job, we just don't pay him.
Come back
Well,
on us.
The problem with not paying him is that, this isn't our own private home. This is the community and the community's money. And if he were to bring a lawsuit against us or something like that, there could be, I'm just, playing devil's advocate, and I think that there could be some potential issues.
What about
I
the rest
agree.
of the board?
I agree with Lisa.
Okay, I'll drop it then. Okay.
Well, I don't know if you should
Next
drop
topic.
it, or if he has something that he can go under someone else's license, or,
That was not an option he offered.
okay.
Thank you. That's it for me, Brahma.
Okay. All right,
Manager's report.
manager's report.
Yeah, the only thing that's not covered under another line item is I had a meeting with Curtis today from D Jaspers, and he informed me when he went to the office with me that D had got bucked off his horse, and he thought that he had at a minimum had busted a leg
Oh no.
and may have a concussion or something. But I sent D a text message about 20 minutes ago, told him I'd be praying for him, and he said thank you. So apparently he's doing okay because he was responding to a text. But I just thought I'd throw it out there that, keep him in your positive thoughts.
Okay. You're gonna go over.
Other than that, I'm good.
Well, you're gonna go over your manager's report.
Oh yeah, let me look at it right now. I'm sorry, I was working all day long at the tank site, wolf site. So, we got a couple 3 meter changes in. After hours call outs, we got 12. Most of those though were due to power pole replacement and alarms going off and different things not coming back on, boosters and stuff. But all in all, we did really good this last month. Again, the crew's really been working good. They just still keep on stepping up and doing everything they're supposed to. So the month was pretty good.
Okay. I had one question, Johnny. I noticed that one of the trucks had a broken tail light.
Yeah, I mentioned that about 2 months ago in the meeting and said that it got hit. I explained that the Mini X, when we rented it, Logan got too close. I was going to buy the tail light, which you guys seen with the purchase, and I was going to try to get it stuck in there and try to make it look good without having to take it to the body shop. That just hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay. All right. I had I guess I had forgotten that. No
Yeah,
problem.
no worries.
Okay. All right. Is administrative assistant report? Do you have anything, Tiffany?
I do. So Jerry signed the contract with Kern County. Johnny brought it over to them, so we're just waiting for them to sign it and send back. And that's regarding the COVID-19 reimbursement. And in the meantime, to get everything kind of ready, as soon as that's approved, is I went ahead and made a spreadsheet of all our expenditures. So it looks like we have $4,712 in eligible expenses that can be reimbursed. So when the time comes, that's what we'll be able to go for.
Okay, awesome. Good work, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Okay, 7, ad hoc committee reports, local information committee. I don't think anything's
Nothing.
happening there.
Nope.
Projects committee,
So I'll just say that we sent off everything we could to Lawrence before, like on the very last day of November, the very last minute that we could send it. I was the last one. Sorry about that, but I did get the 5-year budget to him right before 5 p.m. And I noticed that he sent us a letter that's saying that we're going to need, and I guess we can bring that up on a later item, but that the NOEs are going to have to be combined. So there's still more work to do, but he did get all of our uploads from Oscar. And then I think what else did the project committee do? Did we do anything else, Brahma?
I think that was it. I mean, we worked on all the stuff that was needed for the well 5 and got that into Lawrence, but that was
Right.
it.
Okay, so I think, yeah.
And we hadn't had a chance to go over or have that meeting about the assets list at all. We haven't done that yet.
Right, so that's why I went ahead and made the motion to table that, because I know we need to meet with the representative from RCAC again, but we just haven't, there's been an awful lot of stuff going on, so that has kind of fallen short a little bit.
Okay.
And actually,
Yeah.
I guess that's the rate study committee, so that's the
Yeah,
next.
that's right. Yeah. And then you guys budget committee, that's the,
So that we did move forward. We met multiple times. I met with Director Garcia.
Garcia.
Yeah, and also with General Manager Allison, and we came up with the 5-year budget. I did make a couple of changes right before I sent it to Lawrence, because I did not have any of the information on the reserve and replacement, and Linda did all that for us and sent that to me. So I added in all that information on that last day, and I zeroed. This year you'll see when we get to that, but this year that just happened didn't zero, but I zeroed all the other years. Of course, it's an estimate, so it doesn't mean that our budget's definitely going to balance, but I did go ahead and reduce, and I'll be showing you that I reduced the amount of money going into the capital reserve, whatever it's called. I can't think of the exact name of the. Anyway, I'll show you that on the budget, but I did zero that out.
Okay. So moving right on to financial business, number 8, discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information.
Can I say one thing before we move on to Linda, that we our person who's interested in bookkeeping, is she on the agenda? I didn't see it. I think she's not, so I just wanted to see if we could.
I am here.
No.
Yeah,
I know
that
you're
would-
here. I don't think we had actually put you as a separate item on the agenda, so I wanted to have
No.
Johnny introduce you before we
Okay.
moved on to the other parts of the accounts payable and financial information. And I also wanted to see, Tiffany, if you were able to send out the financials so that she could actually take a look at what Linda normally does for the meeting. That financial packet that I get, that not necessarily everybody gets, but both the what everyone gets and then the additional financials.
I can send the additional financials as soon as, but we have to redact any information that has customer name.
Okay.
Okay, so the way this came about was We didn't know there was any local bookkeepers available. I had to shut the water off to the Alpine Plaza at KV's to do a backflow test. And so I was going around to tell all the customers, and lo and behold, we have a bookkeeper accountant that's right upstairs. And so I went in and I spoke to her. Turns out she's actually worked for water companies before too. She was very interested in stepping in because Linda had to move to Nevada. And so I'll let her introduce herself to you.
Okay, hi, everyone. I'm Linda Wilkie with Linda Wilkie and Associates over here in Frazier Park. I just opened up an office there a couple of years ago, so we've been here for a couple of years. Most of my clients are in Santa Clarita. That's where my history is. But I wanted to have an office up here in Santa Clarita, so I didn't have to always go, up here in Frazier Park, so I didn't have to go down to Santa Clarita. Right now, this is my home office, not my office in Frazier Park. But yeah, I've been in business for 40 years or so, and have lots of experience with multiple sets of books and all kinds of financial statements. And I have a great client base. I can offer you referrals if you want referrals. I did, it was a while back, but we did have a water district, which was the Aqua Dulce Water Company that we worked on. And what we did for them was everything. We billed, we deposited, we did financial statements. We did not do payroll, but we booked the payroll for them. So we did everything for them, and we were quite capable of helping you out in whatever you have to do. I hear it's accounts payable. You've got a receivables person and you need accounts payable person. Where we can help in all different areas if, there's somebody out sick or all the way through financials.
Financials, general ledger,
Yes,
And-
full
and-
sets of books.
And
Payroll also.
budgeting in the USDA loans and all of that, monitoring those.
Well, I don't know too much about the different loans that you have. I'd have to look at them, but I do know that you get grants and items like that need to be allocated to the proper expenses.
The
and
loans will
things
be
like
pretty,
that.
the loans will be pretty easy because I've done a complete schedule and I've done all the schedules for the next 5 years, which they needed
Oh,
for
that's
the,
great.
for the projects that they're working on. So that I've taken care of for you. So that you just follow those and you'll be good on those too. And then it's just a matter of
That sounds
reconciling them
good, Linda.
at the end of the year with the W-9 and just making sure that the board is reminded of the necessary transfers and the change in the monthly transfer amounts.
Okay. Are you here still, Linda, or are you out of state already? Are you out of state already?
Well, I was
you
there.
that's leaving?
Yes, and I just got back home to Mesquite Tuesday night. I was there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday. Came back Tuesday night. So I am in Mesquite.
Now, of course, I have to.
And I'll give you my contact information. So if you ever have any
That's
questions or anything, you can contact me.
That's all I need. That's great. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, of course, I don't know what the fullness of the job is at the moment, but, we can dig in and see what we can do to keep it rolling smoothly. I'm sure we won't have any problem with that.
Sounds good to
Any
me.
questions? Yeah. So like I said, we're a full service bookkeeping service. So there isn't anything that we can't do and that we haven't done, especially myself. As you could tell, I'm an experienced, well-aged woman. So, so I have a lot of background, and so I'm anxious to help out and to get rolling and get everything that rolls smoothly for you.
Okay.
And I know you have a payroll service already, but we do payroll. We do, all the financials. We do accounts payable, accounts receivable. We do after the fact bookkeeping, cash basis, accrual basis, whatever is needed. Okay. We can do reports and, whatever reports that are needed for the water district, like Linda was talking about. And also, I'm seeing that my husband spelled my name Linder. Well, that's because I'm from the East Coast and I always call myself Linder, but it's really Linda, Linda.
Okay.
Same as mine. Mine is Linda too.
It's the same as yours. Yeah, same as yours, Linda.
Well, that could end up being easy. Then I don't have to learn a new name.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Okay. I've heard that before.
So anyways, Director Schoenberg, are you going to meet with them, or how are we going to talk about this, or do we need to put this on the agenda for next week, or what did you?
I think we need to put it on the agenda for next week, and we would just vote to see if she's interested. And I think Linda today, Linda Sheldon could go through kind of as she's doing as she's doing the payables and financial information. Maybe she can hold up the different reports just so the other Linda gets an idea of just kind of what she's giving us for each meeting, and that I think would clear up any confusion about that. And then if we have questions, or if the Linda, not Linda Sheldon, what is your last name again, Linda? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Linda.
Wilkie, Linda Wilkie, Wilke.
Okay, sorry about that. I know you told me, but I'm a little tired tonight. So yeah.
I don't expect you to remember.
That way, if Linda Wilkie has questions right now. So what we do, Linda, just so you know, this is typical, is that we always have our bookkeeper come to any meeting where we're dealing with any kind of financials, and it's usually typically twice a month. And then Linda's going to go over the report, so you'll get an idea of what she reports. And then she also sends out kind of a check detail to all the board members. She sends the treasurer extra details, so I get as a treasurer, all kinds of stuff. The stuff in front of me, but
General ledger.
Summary, the general ledger. So but she can kind of say all those things, I think, as she goes along. So I'm gonna let her give her report, and I think more will be revealed as we go along. And I'm also going to be doing going over the 5-year projected budget, so that'll give you an idea of what we do as well.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds good. Okay, we did have a question. Do you use QBO or QuickBooks Online? Which one?
We use QuickBooks Premier Accountant's Copy because you get better detail on that. I just prefer the reports better and get better financials and stuff. So they've always did desktop version, and I've carried that on because I prefer it over the online version.
Okay, no problem. All right, we're capable of using either one. Whatever's best. Okay. That's it. That's all I have. Any questions?
None at this point.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Did
so
you want me to stay on for the whole meeting?
Well, you just need to stay through the financials. I mean, if you want to stay on and listen, you're more than welcome to. But we're gonna have Linda do the financials now. So.
Oh, good.
So okay, discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information.
All righty. The total cash and cash equivalents is $1,979,127.75. And as of November 30th, the revenue operating account balance was $151,000 $582.20. The total of all the checks, which included all the major checks that we have each month, this run did. So I will not be back in town this next week for your meeting next week, because there won't be any major bills that come in between now and then. So anyway, the total of the checks was $54,885.41. And after those checks are cut, the balance as of 12/10/2020 in the revenue account is $108,983.98. We have also responded to all the requests from the auditors. And the other thing is, and Lisa already mentioned it, we got payment on claim 5. And so I did have payments. All the payments were about $10,000. I don't have the exact figure in front of me, 10,000 something. And that was
10,004. I could tell you, it's 10,493.48. That's to D. Jasper and Associates. And then Lisa did mention that she made a transfer.
Yeah, that transfer amount was $2,070.21, and that's to cover all the reimbursable director fees and admin costs.
Correct.
So I already made that transfer. I'm gonna, if Tiffany lets me share the screen, I will also in a minute, Linda, when you get done, I'm gonna pull up all of the transfers I made just so we can run through them.
Okay.
But yeah, I did make the transfer back into our revenue account.
Okay, so the other thing, like Linda, so that you're aware, one of the reports I do, and you can't really see it very well through my camera that I have, but it's this report, and it's a adjusting journal entry. And what that adjusting journal entry comes from the RVS system report at the end of each month lets us know what the receivables and what was collected, different allocations. So hopefully I'll have the opportunity to meet with you in January with the December report to show you how to read it and do the inventory. If the board would like me to do that, I'd be happy to do that. The other entries on that is the payroll entries, which comes from ADP, and they're pretty self-explanatory, but I like to go over it with you. With your experience, I'm sure you're going to understand it, and it's not going to be an issue. The next report I do is a spreadsheet report that ties the RVS report to the balance sheet and the expenses. And I'll show you that just to make sure that everything's posted, because there was a period, 1 month, a few years ago when my husband's legs were amputated, that 1 month my mind wasn't there, and I forgot to post the income for that 1 month. So I put this spreadsheet together so that never happens again, and we can always tie this into the year-to-date for the P&L statement. Okay, so I'll show you that as well. And then I know that Tiffany already sent you the financials, the balance sheet, the comparison report, the budget report, and then we also do just the 1 month report. So, and then detailed general ledger report. So she already showed you that, and I can go over that. The other thing that I do, as I already mentioned, is I help them keep on top of what's required for the USD reserve and replacement funds. So this is a report that Lisa actually already talked about on the transfers, and we're going to go over that in more detail with Lisa in a moment. But it's another report. This report is done every November after I get they do the final. They make payments on those loans. There's 3 loans, and the payments are made twice a year. They're made in April, by April 15th and by October 15th. And the spreadsheets that I did for the next 5 years shows the amounts, the interest amounts, and also the principal amounts that are to be transferred to the fund account so that USDA can automatically withdraw those amounts. So we have to make sure those amounts are in that account. I'd
Linda,
like to make sure they're in there by October 1.
yeah, we can go, you can go over that more in detail if
So-
we,
Yeah, so the main thing right now that we need to do is talk about the transfers. So there was the one transfer for the shortage, which was the shortage for this, for the year October 2020 is $88.10. And what created that shortage was the fact that they increased the principal payment. And so because of how it's calculated, it's that shortage, and there'll be a
Hold-
slight shortage for the next.
hold on, she's gonna bring up the.
Actually, the one she's speaking of, is the only one I did not transfer. I did not transfer the shortage, the 8810.
Okay, are you gonna bring up the form, Lisa?
I'm gonna bring up each of the transfers I did, yeah.
And Lisa, just so you know, there's no, it's such a small amount. And with the next few years, there's only 2 more years, I think, after that. They're really small amounts, but by the 4th year, it's back to 0. We're not short. So, and that's even without doing anything. So, you know, you may not have to do that. I don't think they're going to worry about a few dollars.
I didn't feel like it was necessarily something we needed to do, and that's why I didn't make the transfer. And I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah,
So-
and I just brought it to you so that you knew the figure, but I'm with you. I don't think you really need to do it because we're in compliance, and then on the other reserves, we're actually ahead. We have more than what we need. So I think the intent, we're showing great intent, and the other accounts we're more than covered. So I don't think that it's that we need to
Okay.
make that. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna quickly, sorry if it's
Quickly.
okay. Yes, Director Nyman. Okay, I'm gonna go over the what I did transfer. So I was just looking for your list that you gave me, Linda. Sorry, I'm not.
Well, I
pulling it.
can read it. The
Okay, well,
first
I'll
one,
read it and
Yeah.
what I did is I broke it up into 2 different transfers because we missed November. I made a November 2020 transfer of each of the items. There were 4, loan 3, loan 4, loan 6 to the replacement, and then also loan 6 to the revenue for loan 2. So I made each of those. So I made 165.42 on loan 3 as a one-time payment. I made loan 3, here's loan 4 was 433.45 as a one-time payment for November, and then also loan 6 was 825.42 as a one-time for November.
To the
And then
replacement fund, yeah.
those were all 3 of those went into the replacement fund, and then we also had one, because the only loan that's still transferring to the reserve other than that little shortage that we have is loan number 6, which we also call loan number 2. So that I also made a one-time payment of $661.94 that goes into reserve loan 2. And then what I did, and then what I did is I set up recurring transfers. So the monthly transfers, same thing. I did a monthly transfer of that $661.94 that goes to the reserve loan 2. I made 10 recurring transfers starting this month, which already occurred. I did that today, and then ending in 10/20/21. So this is the one for the reserve account, and then there's one each for.
So Director Schoenberg, you're not doing it on the 1st. It's going to be on the 10th of the month then.
It's going to be on the 10th of the month because I didn't get this until today. So yes, I
Right.
couldn't do it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to be clear.
I had waited for the first, then we'd miss a second month. So I just made the 2 months and then it's just gonna occur on the
Okay,
10th.
that's fine. That's fine. I just,
That's perfect, because as long as it's done by the 5th, that all of them are done no later than the 15th of October, we're good.
Correct. So they should all be done before the 15th of October. And then, so there's the monthly transfers and there's the single transfers for November. And then just because I just sent this to you, I did send you a copy, Linda, and I sent Tiffany a copy right now. I
Okay.
also did the reimbursement of the to the revenue fund that we talked about just a few minutes ago of the 2070-21. So that was also done today. And then I also, we had a check cut for D Jasper and Associates. And so I did make a transfer for Wolf Tank because that got cut out of the revenue operating fund. It should not be. I did not do the entire amount. There was a smaller check. They were put together, I believe, but there was a smaller amount that was the amount for the board meeting.
$198.
I did not include the $198 since that would have to come direct. That's not part of the capital improvement. That would have to come directly out of our revenue fund. But out of capital improvement reserve, I did transfer $1,064.42 towards, and I need to get those other. So from Tiffany or Linda or both, I need to get all of the other amounts that we've already sent. And I do have a whole bunch of copies of the different invoices. So hopefully I can figure it out as well. But I do want to transfer everything Wolf Tank related out of capital improvement. I'm going to make separate transfers for each so that we can track them, but they all need to be transferred back into our revenue operating fund
Okay,
because we've paid a number of invoices for Wolf Tank already. So that's all of the transfers that I did.
sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, so now you want to talk about the we could talk about the cuts, the checks cut. We did have one question, Linda. Are we positive that we didn't pay the October bill for this Herc Rentals? Because I know we had paid Herc Rentals a substantial amount of money a month or so ago.
Yeah, I had thought the bill had been paid. And I looked and I could not find where the bill had been paid. I could not find the check. I couldn't even find the original invoice where I had actually had it posted and I had shown it was paid via the credit card. But I went back through the credit cards. It wasn't paid on the credit card. So no, we did not pay it. There was no check that cleared on it. So those amounts are correct.
But we did.
Yeah, we've had
And there's been
We've had
multiple Herc invoices.
there you go.
Right, but also can we get them to send us a copy of that invoice though? Because we don't have a copy of that invoice with this statement. We only have the one for $798.39.
Yeah, we need to get a copy of that.
I'm going to recommend that we hold that amount unless we have the invoice.
Okay, so it needs a third signature anyway, so I will bring this back to the office and we'll have to
Johnny can probably call them or Tiffany can call them and get that.
on Monday.
Yeah, get them to send us that copy.
Yes. And then you can get Director Schoenberg to sign that particular invoice. Also, did you want to go ahead, Director Schoenberg? You had some.
I had a few other questions. So I had a question about the California Department of Taxation or whatever it is, the tax fee that we paid that was $606.17. Do we know what that was for exactly?
That's an annual fee and last year we paid about the same amount.
Okay, because I don't recall that fee from last year.
Yeah,
but-
I didn't either and I looked it up and sure enough, we had it.
Okay.
Do we know what those water rights are for? Is that for? Because all
Yeah,
it's
the water rights are for more than likely, without looking at it, I believe it's for Sam Young Spring and Pine Canyon Spring.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I assumed it probably was, but I just didn't remember paying it ever before. But if Linda says we did, we did. So there we go. And then I also had a question on, let's see, that one I already answered. I had a question on the AT&T bill, the larger of the two AT&T bills, the 370, 75.96, whatever it is, 376. I can't read it. It's dark in my house.
Yeah, remember we talked about that before. That was the one that is running between 300 and 400 a month, and they
Right.
didn't give us a bill for 3 or 4 months, and so the last
Yeah,
month
that's
we
not-
paid almost 1,200.
That's not my question.
Okay,
My
I'm sorry.
question is that there's a bundle on there for like 20 something dollars, and I'm just wondering what that is because that's new.
Oh,
I
no,
saw that they-
that's not that bill, Director Schoenberg. It's on the other one, the internet bill.
Oh, it's on the internet. Okay, so then it's not this bill. I'm sorry, this bill was fine. It's the
It's
internet.
the internet bill,
The one right below
that we were paying, $53.50 a month for the internet, and now the bill was $81.50.
What I'm guessing is typically every time that happens, it's because the promo that they gave us before has expired. They never warn you ahead of time. So now you get the bill, then you got to call them up and get the promo again to try to make them lower it.
Yeah, because on the back it says a monthly charge. It says AT&T standard package, $28, and then on the front it has the internet. They charge us $53.50. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought,
Oh.
Johnny, it might be for your new cell phone, but then I saw that you paid that on the credit card. So
Right.
yeah, no, the new FirstNet is a total separate charge. The internet is just in the office, the office internet alone. And I
right.
guarantee you that when I call them, which I will, when I call them, they're going to tell me that our promo lapsed because they'll never give it to you year after year, and they never warn you ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay.
So AT&T internet.
Okay.
okay, and then I had a question. This is just not so much for Linda, more for Johnny. But on the P&J Electric, we had paid for the relays, and I think Johnny, you were going to try to put something into Southern California Edison since they're the reason why.
I submitted that to you do it online, and they said that it would take at least 30 days. So we'll see how that comes out. I'll continue to fight it and see what happens. And if they approve that one, I'll file another one.
Okay. And where do we keep the other two relays? They're
inside my office right now.
They're in your office. Okay, because they're like $1,500 a piece.
Yeah, but just to put your mind at rest, we're the only one that could ever use those. They're going to be safe at the water company.
Okay.
Okay,
Also, okay, go ahead, Director Schoenberg.
and I had another question just about the state water resource payment of, again, I can't read that very well, but I think it's 662, 682. It's very dark.
Yeah, last year that figure was around $660. So it only
Okay,
went up
about,
less than $20.
about the same, and it says annual fee for our permit. Which is that for? Do you know?
You
I'm
know,
not sure. It's probably just our permit to provide water to the community.
Okay, yeah, because it's a year. It goes from July 20th to June 21. I mean July
Right.
20th.
Yeah, and if you remember, it used to be a lot more, and then I filed to get a disadvantaged community reduction in the fee. That's why it's down to what it is, and now it's time to file another one to continue that reduction. So that's on my screen right now.
Okay, great. And then my last question, well, I have two more. One was the on the bank card, there's some kind of issues with it, and this is something I'm always kind of having issues with. There's missing invoices. they don't all match up. And then there's also who the items are charged to, or I mean what category the items are charged to, isn't on each invoice. So again, I just would really, I think we need to go back over some of that, because I really bothers me every year when we do the budgeting that I think that we put some items in the wrong place just because it's not clear, because it's not written on the actual.
And I've been trying on every invoice that comes in, I've been trying to write what it's for on that.
Yeah, it's particularly bad on the AT&T, not AT&T, on the bank card. So all the stuff that we do on the bank card, especially the Amazon, that's usually where it's not written.
So any receipts you have for the bank card, you need to write on there, like, you know, whether it's.
Yeah, I try to do that. I try to write
Yeah.
exactly, unless it's self-explanatory what it is. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think that, we need, maybe Brahma, when you come in, we could go over all those invoices and look at the original printed ones. Because every time I order something, I either write it or I put it in the PO
Right.
on the Amazon order.
Well,
And it says where it should go.
I did have a question. What is the incognito graphics? $135? Because
That's our t-shirt place. So that must have been our last.
t-shirt
I don't know.
order?
I didn't even see that one come in.
Because it's on, because I don't have we don't have a receipt for that one.
Well, then maybe I had ordered some medium t-shirts when I had the high school kid working for us, and I haven't picked them up. So maybe they charged our card without permission.
They did.
Well, then I have to get down there and pick them up and try to dig into them, because it's okay to be upset that I didn't pick them up, but it's not okay to charge the card without me telling them to.
Yeah, because this was it was posted on the 10th of November, $135.14.
Well, see, we should have an invoice for it then. That's probably the beanies and hats.
Yeah, but there's no invoice. That's what I'm saying. There was no invoice. I went through all the receipts. There was no invoice with
Yeah,
this.
Johnny, I don't remember seeing an invoice for it either. And I had it marked on what I put in your box for ones that I was missing.
All right, well, make a note of that, and we'll
Right.
follow up on that and find out what the hell it is.
There's a charge for the 2nd of December that for T-Mobile for 7207. Is that going to be the last one, Johnny? Because you got a new.
No, there should be another one for $69 that I just paid. There was the final on it, because
for
they always
T-Mobile.
have to, close it out for T-Mobile,
Okay.
and that'll be it for T-Mobile, and then the new
Okay,
bill will
that-
be cheaper.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Quick question. And the AT&T is always going to be a separate charge on the credit card, right? For your phone?
Yeah,
Okay.
like $50 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's 50.93. So, and the only other thing that I'll bring up is I am missing an Amazon bill for $322. I don't know what was purchased on that, because that receipt was not here. And
All you have to do is if you come in on Monday, we'll look up on Amazon itself, and I'll print it
Okay.
out, and we'll see.
Well,
exactly
what
it is.
I'll do is we'll go over this. We'll go over this on Monday, Johnny, because there's a couple I just wanted, because one of
perfect.
the receipts too, we were missing page 3, and so we just need to know what they are, what we're buying.
On Amazon, typically page 3 or the extra pages is a blank page, but as long as
Yeah,
it's
but
got the
this
charge on the front one.
that one was for $493, and it only had 2 pages, and the 2 pages added up to $230. So there's another 200 and some odd dollars. So I don't know what that is. So we can.
Luckily, if we could do it in the afternoon on Monday, that'd be great, because we're doing some stuff at Wolf. But
Yeah.
I'll call up the account and we'll go through every invoice on there. It's easy
Sounds
look
good to
up,
me.
so.
Sounds good to
Cool.
me.
Thank you.
When you do that, Director Nyman, can you let me know afterwards so I can update my questions I have?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
I could also give you access too, Lisa. You could go in there anytime you wanted to and look at it.
Oh, there was one other thing that you didn't ask Director Schoenberg, Linda. We had, that, when you were talking about that D Jasper and Associates, that, 1,262, Linda, you have that down as legal fees.
On D Jasper?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what your check detail says.
I think it's just a mistake. You have
Yeah.
both items for D Jasper's legal, so we need to recategorize that. That should not be legal. That should
Because
be,
that was for Wolf Tank and that was like for bids and stuff for Wolf Tank. So that's what would that go under?
Normally I would have put that under the distribution system, so I'll have to check that.
yeah.
Cool. And I would like to add one more thing. It wasn't brought up, but you'll see in there where there was a charge on the credit card that as soon as I did it, I realized that I used the wrong card. I used the work instead of mine. So I deposited a money order to replace that. So I just wanted to make sure that was noted in the meeting that I replaced it the same day it happened.
What is that?
That's like,
I
you sent us an email on that.
I did, but I just thought I'd bring it up in the meeting where I charged, I think
Yes.
it was a T-Mobile bill. It looks just like my personal card. So the second I used it, I thought, oh no. So I just went down and got a money order and had that deposited separately to reimburse that charge.
Okay. I didn't see that, but that's fine.
Cool.
And one more quick question. Consolidated equipment, a wheel caster assembly, what was that for? Because I think it wasn't it
I don't-
didn't have anything that it, on, Linda did not put what she charged it to. I mean,
The
it
only
didn't say-
wheel casters, the wheel casters I bought should have been, and I remember writing it on the receipt saying it was for the skid steer brush attachment or the brush attachment on that streets.
I
That's
applied
on
that
the-
to vehicle maintenance and repair.
Okay, I'll finish and then we know where to categorize.
Equipment. I applied it
That's what it is. It's equipment.
yeah, I applied it to the equipment maintenance and repair.
It's the front wheels on the street sweeper.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I
just so we're clear, the mistake that because he sent a copy of the money order that he gave back to us, it was for $72.07, and that was T-Mobile. And maybe that was on this particular, and yeah, that
That was actually the T-Mobile that you were asking about then, 7207.
yeah, so that one was refunded. Okay, I'll just write it on here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So anyway, yeah, I refunded it the same day.
Refunded by order. Okay. Okay, no problem.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, that's fine. I just, it's good that you brought it up so that we see that it's clear. So we got that taken care of. So, okay.
Move that we pay our bills with the exception of, we can sign it and hold it back, or we can just do two signatures with the exception of the Herc rentals that we need to inquire about.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia has seconded. We'll call it directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson. You need to unmute yourself, Becky. Director Gibson. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Director Kelling.
Aye.
Okay, Director Nyman's an aye, and Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried to pay our bills 500. Okay.
I needed some space.
Okay, you need to mute yourself again, Director Gibson, please. Thank you. All right, on to number 9, discussion vote on 5-year budget projection.
Okay, so I'm pulling that up on the screen. Um, and so we had gone over this in the past, so I'm not going to go over everything. Really, Director Garcia and I went over this again, but this may be helpful also, Tiffany, if you want to send this to Linda Wilkie, that may be helpful for her too. And once I guess we should vote and then we can send stuff over. And then the only change, so we made a couple of changes. I obviously didn't change the monies that had already been spent. So the July 19th through June 20th are all the same. And so that one does not balance. We're actually in the black though. Originally this said it was in the red, but we had an incorrect amount for the payments that we've been making into the transfer to the emergency reserve fund was not written correctly. So that's why we're now 65,000 in the black as opposed to we were under before. So so that one's fine. Other changes that happened, we went back over the proposed. I had Tiffany pull our 1-year budget off of the internet because there were a number of items that were not correct on there for whatever reason. They didn't match what the budget ad hoc had talked about. I don't, there must have been some mix up and somehow the wrong budget projection was put up on the internet. So we pulled that off. If you're all okay with this evening, this 5-year budget will go up instead. So as far as any changes, really, we just, most of this I talked about. Most of this did not change. Most of this I talked about last time. There were a few minor tweaks to stuff. The main changes on here were the items that Linda sent. So one of them was the interest, because we did not have the interest correct, which I'm trying to find where that is. Right here. So these interest expenses, these are now correct per Linda's calculations, and they go out for 5 years. So she had gone ahead and done that for all 5 years. Actually, Linda, you did it for 6 years, really. And so I have the 6th available to me, but it's not on this budget. And so because really we were counting from July to June, so some of the stuff only applied in October, and so it applied to the previous year and not the next year. So I left
now
off.
of course, Director Schoenberg, if we put this up here next year, we will be reviewing the proposed that we had for the next year and make corrections to that according to what our actuals were, correct?
Correct. So we could still pull this down, but again, this is just a projection. It's not, but it really gives us a good idea and gives the community a good idea of what we think we're going to be spending and what we think we're going to be taking in, and so that they have an idea of what we're doing with the money, and so and and how much money we are bringing in, and how much money we're expending. So the other changes that were on here that are much different than when I went over this last month are the USDA loans, which were also all incorrect. So those are now again correct. So we went through the bond book. These are all the bond amounts are correct for the principal payments. The interest payments are correct. And then the reserve has been adjusted and the replacement fund has been adjusted. And then the big change, so I told you I zeroed out all of these bottom amounts, and the big changes that on our transfer funds, the emergency reserve fund, last year we transferred 229,000. It was written as 425,000. That's why that one was so wrong, but it was really only 229. And then this year we're doing 20,000, and so this is still a little bit wrong, this proposed. I don't remember, I need to look back through it, but right now, since I set up the recurring deposits, it's 20,000 each month. And so that's not gonna, but I think we had made one payment that was larger, so I need to go back through and so this number may be a little bit off. But what I did is I lessened the amount that we were putting in order to zero the budget each year. So it goes down to 137,000 this year 2 down to 118,600, 137.5 or 6 almost, 118,6, almost 7 the following year, 94,000, almost 95 the year after that, and then only 36,000 the year after that. So you can see that we will start to run into some problems because we won't really be able to sock away money, and we're going to be spending quite a bit of that on all these projects we have going. But the one thing is that we will probably be doing well, we're doing a rate study right now, so we'll probably be revising with RCAC our amounts. But right now, we did vote on not increasing for next year. So for next year, it'll remain the same. And then I'm not really sure the year after that. But I was just working with the numbers that we were anticipating without a raise in rates.
Okay.
So if I think we do need a vote on this though to see. I don't know if you want to wait until next week, and Tiffany, I can send this to Tiffany and she can send it out to everyone. I don't think it went out in the packet, right, Tiffany? Or did it? I didn't see it.
I don't think it did.
Okay, so
Well, I think we already had gone over this, so I think you just went over the changes. I think if people are good with that, I think we could vote on it tonight.
okay, so I'm going to abstain from it being part of the budget ad hoc. So I would entertain a motion from someone else if you're comfortable voting on it tonight.
Okay, could somebody, I would entertain a motion that we approve the budget and put it up on our website.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 5-year budget and ask Tiffany to put it up on our website.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Director Gibson has seconded it. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
Abstain.
Okay, Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye, Director Schoenberg.
All abstain.
Okay, so 3-0, abstentions, motion carried. Okay. All right. Okay, going on to number 11, discussion vote on consolidation planning project.
And before we move on to this, I just wanted to let Linda Wilkie know she's welcome to stay for the whole meeting. But if you're tired of us, you can definitely, I think that's the major components of all the financials for this meeting.
Yeah, you're muted, Linda.
I have a question. You're going to be voting on whether to use my services or not, correct?
Yes.
Not tonight.
Right?
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
That'll be next Thursday, because we have to discuss it, and then it has to be on the agenda. So according to the
Okay.
Brown Act, it has to be on the agenda in order for us to vote on it. So we can't
Okay.
vote on it
So
tonight.
that's great. So then I will dismiss myself, and I want to say thank you. It was very nice to meet you all and listen to what's going on. And hopefully after next Thursday, I can stay for the whole meeting.
Yes.
Thank you,
And
Linda.
Linda, and we'll try not to be too tough on you if we go
Okay,
with you.
yeah, don't drag me through the mud that much, okay?
It was nice meeting you, Linda.
Same here. I look forward to working with you, Linda.
All
Okay,
righty.
thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank
And
you.
we may
Nice
want-
meeting. Yes.
I was just gonna say, Linda, we may actually want you on the next meeting. I know we don't have any, Linda Sheldon will not be present, but if we have any financial questions at the beginning, you may want to just show up for part of that, and then you're welcome to, go again, and then we'll, just in case we need any, if we have any questions, I guess.
That'll be great. So Tiffany will send me an invite.
Yeah.
And then I'll be sure to show up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay? All
Thank you,
right,
Linda.
thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. You
Lisa,
too.
Lisa, if you want me to be on the Zoom meeting, I can be on the Zoom meeting. I just didn't see a need to come out there and cut checks because there's no major checks that need to be cut.
Perfect. Yeah, if you could do that, Linda, just for the begin, just for the first part of the meeting, just in case, and then I think, hopefully, and then, if we vote on having Linda Wilkie, then we would just need you to help probably for the first, the first time she takes over, and then we would go from there.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Need me
Linda.
anymore?
No, I think we're done with you tonight. Thank you, Linda.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Talk to y'all
Linda.
later.
Thanks for coming
Bye-bye.
out and cutting those checks. We appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
All
Talk to you
right.
later.
And I'll
Bye-bye.
put your check in the mail.
Super, thank you.
All right. Okay, so discussion vote on consolidation planning project. I don't think we had anything on there for tonight, did we?
I don't know of anything.
What we're doing is we're going to be going over those invoices on next Tuesday. We have all of the different claims and stuff, so we'll be going over that just to make sure that we're on top of things.
And one other thing, so we still have not heard from Emily Wainwright.
Yes, I got it. It's signed. Everything's done.
Yes.
I gave it to Tiffany. She, she's got the original and sent out copies to everybody that needs it.
Okay, awesome. Woo.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's done. Okay. So, yeah, and I think that's it. But yeah, we plan on having we're having an ad hoc committee on Tuesday to go over the different invoices, some that we've already paid, others that haven't been paid. And there's also some budget issues we have to talk with Dave Warner about. We need to see where we can get the money from, because some D's budget is run out. So
well, maybe those couple extra things, the Amazon thing and whatever that we were supposed to talk about on Monday, maybe we could do that on Tuesday as well.
yeah. Also,
it only take a couple minutes.
yeah. Also, Director Schoenberg, that has to be in the morning. Dave is available. Dave Warner's available Tuesday morning, so we could do the meeting maybe, if you want to start like at 9 o'clock, but he's not available in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah, I'm available anytime on Tuesday, so that's fine. So we could just say 9 if that's okay with Johnny as well.
Yeah, that's good with me.
Okay, so would you send an email out to everybody, Director Schoenberg, to Dave? I guess we should ask for his Zoom. Or are we going to provide it? It doesn't matter.
I can do Zoom in case we need to look at anything, or Tiffany. So either one of us would it's probably best if maybe we do a Zoom meeting in case we need to look at anything.
Yeah, but we just need to get an email out to Dave so that we can lock in that time.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now as we speak.
Okay. Moving on to number 12, discussion vote update on meter replacement, well 5 emergency replacement projects. I think the only thing we already kind of went over it a little bit, but basically Lisa said, we put in the 5-year projection that Lawrence needed. He also got the updated PER that we did from the special meeting, and then afterwards we updated the figures, and so Dee had sent that on to Lawrence.
And did you see the latest email from Lawrence today where he's saying that we need to refile the NOE? And
yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, I hadn't seen that. I didn't see that, but So that's something that we're gonna have to,
Well, I can read through that quickly. So it just says, hello all, DFA environmental staff have indicated that Fraser Park should submit a combined NOE for both projects and combine the two environmental packages into one. I have pushed back in the attempt to eliminate extra work, but it seems this is needed to avoid any issues with piecemealing of the CEQA work, which is explicitly not allowed. A single CEQA document will need to be filed containing, which is what Dave was saying, and everybody wasn't agreeing with him, so Dave was right. A single CEQA document will need to be filed containing the whole of the project with both project descriptions. Since the project is exempt under Class 2 replacement and Class 3 conversion of small structures, it may be more straightforward to file under those as well. Please let me know if you have any questions, Lawrence.
okay, so we can, I guess put that'll be on the agenda, have Tiffany put that on the agenda for next, um, excuse me. On the agenda next week, because for that. Okay, my brain isn't working, so you understand what I'm saying, Tiffany?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. Oh my God. All right.
Other than that, I don't think we have anything else currently until we hear more from Lawrence as far as that item 12.
Yes. Okay, on to 13. Vote on purchasing additional truck SUV for FPPUD.
Okay, so I was asked to get pricing on trucks because we need something that could tow. Last week we had to spend another almost $1,000 to rent a truck so we could tow our generators. But also we have the problem of COVID and people not being able to ride together in trucks. So we needed an additional truck. So it took me a while to get pricing. I was on the phone constantly, stopped in multiple times. The thing is they couldn't, they had to renew our government pricing. So the long and the short of it is, finally, after jumping through a bunch of hoops, I got a quote from GMC for a GMC 2500 crew cab for towing, and that came in at $54,059.89. With it, that's a $9,800 discount because we're local government. The other one, the Dodge Ram 2500 crew cab, that one came in considerably cheaper at $42,753.14, and that's with a $13,853 discount because we're a local government. So obviously, if we're going to buy one, the Dodge is going to be the one that's substantially cheaper.
Right.
If you guys do decide to vote on getting one, I think I would recommend you approve it for maybe up to $2,000 higher, simply because I wasn't able to get a response back on the extended warranty. So I would like to have a little flexibility on the extended warranty because I think we should always have one when we buy it. So if you guys choose to purchase one of these, I would like you to add up to a certain dollar amount.
And did we check with Ford as well?
No, I couldn't get them to because there was the problem with the local government. But again, if you guys want to approve in theory up to a dollar amount, now that GMC, because they're the ones that did all the work to get the government pricing active, then I will also try to get the Ford. The only reason I went with GMC and the Dodge Rams was because the Cummins diesel and both of them is supposed to be good. And I don't know what Ford has, but the one I rented wasn't very impressive, but I could still get quotes and see what to do, but it would be nice to have an approved up to amount, and then I will check.
Yeah, well, I would think that we would go with the lower one with the Dodge Ram as
Yeah, and I tried Chevy itself, and Chevy didn't even seem like they wanted to put out any effort. I think part of the problem is that the government pricing cuts into their profit margin, so it wasn't really worth it to them to even hassle with it. And I don't know if Ford's going to have the same attitude or not.
Johnny, why do we need to have a cab?
Well, we don't necessarily have to have a crew cab. But the way we've always thought of it before is if board members need to go places, we could take the crew cab. If the crew needs to go to training, we could take one vehicle as opposed to multiple things. And the non-crew cab was 40,000. So it's like $2,700 more for the crew cab. So it seemed like a no-brainer to me, the crew cab, because there are times that, we take tours, we do, training with the guys, they're constantly training. So we would need the crew cab in that regard when COVID is over.
Any other directors have any thoughts or? Director
No,
Garcia?
I think we've already established the fact of the need. We're
Oh,
renting
oh.
vehicles. We're renting vehicles to do our standard work.
Also, if we could just for a moment, I'd like to go back to the financials for just a second, if everyone's okay, and then we'll come right back. I wanted to mention, because we didn't mention it during the financials. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
We bought the trailer. I'm trying to find it.
That was over $11,000.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
actually
need to pick up
12.
that check from you.
Yeah. Okay. What I'll do tonight, I'm just going to take everything. I'll put it underneath your door along with
Yeah, perfect.
the postal checks and whatever checks you were supposed to get, and then I'm going to leave the other check for her on Linda's desk. So, but the trailer that we bought was $12,719.54. So we paid $1,000 down on the credit card, and this check that we've written to pay for it, for him to go pick it up, because you haven't picked it up, right, Johnny?
I have not.
Yeah, $11,719.54. So just want.
And just so you know that when we do that 5-year projected budget, it deals only with O&M, which is our normal operation and maintenance, and it does not have like when we purchase new items. So, so just know that we're going to be off probably, and because we've spent 12, so I would say we're probably gonna be off by $70,000 or so, at least. So and that's fine, but I just want you to keep that in mind, because there is no place that's accounted for on a normal budget. Those items are outside of the regular budget.
Right. Okay. Okay, so we're back to discussion on the trucks. So did you have anything, Director Garcia?
No, I'm in favor of it, but whatever we decide.
Director Gibson, did you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm in favor. I think we do need to have it for towing, because we need to, we haven't heard anything yet on the generators. So hopefully we're going to get something from that soon. So we definitely need something to be able to tow the generators around. Director Kelling, you had something to say? You were muted. I can't hear what you said. Oh, okay. All right. Did you have anything?
No, I just wanted to know why the crew cab.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have a problem with the crew cab?
Well, I just don't ever see anybody. We don't.
That's because we're on COVID.
But even before that. So.
Well, it's been going on since March, but we do go to training all the time together. And, we do take people to all around, board members and stuff. Most of you have ridden with me in my truck, and we have other people that would like to go. So, I'm good either way, but for the $2,700, it doesn't seem like you would want to go without the crew cab just to save $2,700.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with that. So, if
I
there's no
also
other,
think that the crew cab is helpful if we're having weather situations and we have tools or other stuff that, that maybe is a little bigger than what would fit standardly behind the seat. It's just helpful to have the extra room.
Yeah, that's where I keep all my tools and stuff in the Toyota, is because it's locked up inside the cab.
Yeah. I'm definitely for having the extra room for whatever items we might need to have a little bit more secure.
okay, I'd entertain a motion, uh, I mean, I personally think that we should go for the lower, if we're going to approve it, I would go for the Ram and, Dodge Ram because it's a lower price and, um,
Can you read the prices again, Johnny, before we approve anything?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just to take into consideration, if you could think about that extended warranty, I don't know what that cost. I would guess maybe a couple $1,000s, but so it's a few. So the Dodge Ram is 42,753.14 out the door with the standard warranty.
And what's the higher price?
The higher price of the GMC is 54,059.89.
Okay, I'm gonna move that we approve up to 50 so that you have some in case you decide that the Ram's not the way to go, but maybe that
Or-
would give you leverage if if you did decide on the other one, you might be able to say this is the most that my board would go. So I'm gonna say that I would like to move that we go with 50, and then that gives us some leeway with if Ford has a different has something that works better, or it just gives them a little leeway.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
okay, Director Garcia has seconded it. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director, Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
I abstain.
okay, Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried 4-0, one abstention. Okay, 14, discussion vote on pipeline replacement work. I think we're,
Got no updates on that.
okay, so we'll move on. 15, discussion vote on emergency repairs to Wolf Booster and tank site.
Okay, we've been working up there. The Unified's been up there, and so far I'm really happy with their work. They've got it. They have to over-X. They have to dig out more than they need to compact and everything. I've met with Curtis today and Unified, and we were trying to come up with a game plan on, since we don't know where the pipes run and how to get shutdowns for the tie-ins. There's a lot of prep work that I'm going to be doing next week, trying to map that out. But one thing that came up was we have a 3-inch line that comes off of the tank, and the valve wasn't working. It wouldn't shut down.
Yeah, I saw that
So-
video.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you've seen it. So we initially I ordered up a diver like you're supposed to do to plug the inside of the tank. Then I started looking at it, and there's a picture that Tiffany's going to show you of the pipe, how the pipe was actually eroded so bad. There was no pipe left except for some threads. So I made the decision that we were going to have to do it live under pressure. If you look at that right there, you see how it's disintegrated in that V shape?
Yeah.
So once I
definitely.
realized that, I didn't want to take a chance on waiting and have that blow at 2 in the morning and drain 200,000 gallons. So the next thing, for those who didn't see it, Tiffany's going to show you the short video. Unfortunately, the camera guy cut it off before we got the fix on there, but it'll show you what I went through, me and Logan, to get the new valve on there.
You got a little wet today, huh?
Yeah, I got very wet from head to toe. This was a phenomenal feat. When I said to Curtis, I don't think this is how other water companies do it, he laughed and said, no, I don't think it is.
Major kudos, Johnny. You're a
Thank you,
stud,
sir.
bro.
Yeah, it saved us $2,500, and it also made it to where we could have the meeting today and do some more planning to get that done, get that replaced. But it was it was pretty exhilarating.
Awesome.
So Unified though hasn't done any work yet, right, Johnny? Because
Oh yeah. Oh no, they have. They've been up there doing all the excavation, the over-X, trying to get it down to level.
but
what they're gonna-
wasn't there supposed to be a contract sign, or did D get a
Oh,
contract?
yeah, the contract is signed.
Okay,
It was
and
Jerry signed it. Jerry signed it. You guys approved it in theory. Then I took it up and showed it to Lisa. It was just boilerplate, what they had agreed to that you guys had discussed already. So we got Jerry to sign it because Unified had already signed it and sent it to us, and we needed to get the work started because of winter. So
okay,
I had 2 board members go over it before Jerry signed it.
okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So now the game plan is.
And we have all the insurance and everything that they have
Oh,
all
yeah.
the insurance and everything.
Yeah, they submitted that to us. The submittal, it had everything required. Curtis went over all of it as well.
Okay.
And so now the game plan is next week. We have a 8-inch and a 6-inch and a 3-inch. We got to try to figure out how to shut down when they do the tie-ins, when they run the pipes up the hill. And so me and the crew are going to be doing some extensive drilling and testing and trying to figure out how to accomplish that. So we're trying to stay ahead of the schedule for doing this job.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else?
So just like I said,
Director
I am
Schreiber.
gonna, hi, sorry. So like I said earlier, what I'm gonna try to do is as we go, I'm going to be transferring money. So we're gonna be paying this out of the operating revenue. And or I forgot to ask Linda, that's something I forgot to ask. I don't think we have checks from the capital account. So I'm pretty sure we don't. So most likely she's going to be paying them off of the operating revenue, and then I'm going to be
Transferring the money.
Yeah, transferring back individual invoices so we can track.
Right. And you'll just put that invoice number in the comment section of your transfer.
Correct.
Okay.
And I send those always to Tiffany and to Linda, so Tiffany has a copy of everything that she files.
Okay. All right. Okay, on to, is that it? I think that's it. So on to 16.
I think we tabled 16, didn't we?
Oh,
Oh, no, we didn't. We tabled 18, but
Okay.
we could table 16 because we don't have D here, and I don't know. In fact, we could table 16 and 17 because without D and without knowing where he's at on the mapping, we're not able to move forward on either one of those.
okay. So I'll entertain a motion.
So I'll just move that we carry those over actually to our next, not the regular meeting, but our meeting next week where we'll have D and we'll have Dave and everything so that we can kind of find out what we need to do next on that.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0-0. Okay, on to number 19, notice exemption on generator project. I don't think we have anything on that.
No, unless Jerry's heard anything. I have not heard anything on the status of the grant.
Okay. So,
Negative.
okay, can you check on that, Jerry? Make sure that to see if we've heard anything.
Yes. Monday, I'll come into the office and get on the computers there.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you.
Tiffany, can we carry that over to the next regular meeting?
The January? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right, we want to skip the recess, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, discussion, review of updates to the Brown Act.
Okay, that's me. There was something I thought it was important to make the board aware of.
Okay,
So there's a new update to the Brown Act that will take effect in the beginning of the year, but I'm giving you a heads up. It's Assembly Bill 992, and it deals with social media
okay,
and serial meetings through social media. So it's actually more restrictive than any other type of serial meeting. And I'll read what it says. So AB 992 clarifies that a public official may communicate on social media platforms to answer questions, provide information to the public, or to solicit information from the public regarding a matter within the legislative body's subject matter. But those communications are only allowed if members of the same legislative body do not use a social media platform to discuss official business amongst themselves. Quote, discuss amongst themselves means making posts, commenting, and even using digital icons, which is emojis and likes made by members of the legislative body. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but if, for example, Brahma, since I'm looking at a screen, is answering a question on social media or talking to the public about something to do with water company business, no other board member can comment. They can't like it. They can't put an emoji. They can have no social media comment whatsoever on that post. Does that make sense?
that makes perfect sense, but I don't comment on any of those things on it, when they go on.
I don't comment either, but what I would say is, I think that we should designate one person if we are, I noticed, I know Johnny's commented on stuff before, and I don't think any of the, well, actually, I think Jerry has also commented on stuff before, so I don't know if that includes our general manager. But I would say that if we were gonna have someone do it, since Jerry's already, I don't know if any other director has made any comments on social media.
I may have way in the past, but I don't anymore.
And Tiffany could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that I fall under the same guideline as a serial meeting. I'm not a board member. I'm just a GM. But I also would like to point out that recently I bowed out of the Fraser Park bulletin board just because I felt like commenting does no good. The haters are going to hate, and people that love us are going to love us regardless.
Exactly.
Okay,
We want to designate one person that would be the person in case we needed to do that, and then always just have that one person unless that person's no longer on the board.
I think everybody should just they should just be simply commented that they would come to a board meeting if they got concerns. Trying to explain things, I found out, just opens a huge can of worms with more people talking negative and making snotty comments.
Right, but even if we do that, I think we should still designate only one person that would be answering anything. I know that at one point, Jerry had said that he was willing to, that he was interested in maybe doing that, and I don't know if he still is, but he was willing to kind of put together something at some point. I think he had said in regard to just showing the public what we're doing on projects and stuff. So I thought that maybe, he might be the person that might be willing to just direct them to a board. I think even if we're directing to a board meeting, that we should just have one person that does.
I nominate Jerry Garcia.
I don't mind, but I'm sure we'll be working with the manager or another director before I post a response. I don't want to be responding, shooting from the hip. I want to make sure it's a responsible response from the
Well,
board.
and you can only talk to one other board member because
That's what I said.
Otherwise, it's a serial meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're doing that and you're willing, and we only ever have one person physically answering anything on social media, then I think and no one reacts or does, likes or emojis or anything, then I think we'd be safe with that new ruling.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, moving on to 22, discussion vote on employee Christmas appreciation.
Yeah, we thought that the best way to go would be like we did last year with the barbecue. But then it was brought up a point that since we're social distancing and wearing masks, that maybe some of the board members wouldn't feel comfortable with doing that. So I guess we're open to suggestions on what you guys might want to recommend, either making it smaller and just the existing crew and the people that feel comfortable and doing a barbecue and setting a dollar amount, or doing something other than a barbecue and just do the total social distancing.
I personally think that instead of doing a barbecue or something, that maybe we just come up with a small amount of, like a nice little gift card or something that, so that the crew and everybody knows we're thinking about them. But I'm really concerned. I have quite a few people in my life. I just found out a new person today that just tested positive for COVID. And I think that it's probably not a good idea for us. We're highly recommended by the state of California.
Yeah, I don't think we should be doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with Director Schoenberg. I don't think we should be doing, maybe we shouldn't be doing a barbecue or something. I mean, if you wanted to do like something like a $20 gift card or something for each of the employees or something like that, I would be okay with that. But I don't think we should be having a party just because it's because of the COVID thing and because of what's happening right now. I don't know what other directors think. Anybody else want to?
I agree with both of you.
Director Kelling?
Well, state mandate says that you can't have parties.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, and I'm good either way. Both ways are fine. The reason why I said maybe a smaller thing is the people that are already working together, it would be cooked outside. Everybody would take it to go eat their lunch like they do their normal lunch. So that's what I wasn't thinking party. I was thinking a lunch barbecue, but the gift cards are a great idea as well.
I think I would prefer this year to go with something like a gift card, because I don't think that we should even because to me it's also a liability if we're doing a little barbecue and then all of a sudden somebody comes up with COVID, then it becomes an issue, and I just don't think that we should do that.
All right, well, you guys vote on the amount and then we'll decide on how to get it. A lot of times you can't buy gift cards with a credit card, so I'd have to take it out of petty cash is all.
Okay, well, I was thinking like $20 a piece.
That's up to you guys.
Well, I'm presenting something to
I'm
the
sorry.
board.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I'm sorry.
No. What do the board members think?
That sounds fair.
Okay. So if everyone's okay with that, I would entertain a motion that we give gift cards of $20 a piece to the employees.
I will make a motion that we give a $20 gift certificate to each employee as their Christmas appreciation.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second that.
Okay, Director Kelling is second that. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Director Schoenberg. Oh, you got to unmute yourself, Director Schoenberg.
Oh, I was going to say, I probably wanted to do a little bit more than that, so I'm going to abstain.
Okay, 302 abstentions, motion carried. All right, 23, discussion vote on changing or continuing modified services and procedures as adopted on March 19th, 2020. Obviously, I think that we need to just continue with the same modifications.
Yeah, I think that I think that since you guys based it off of the tier level, it's made it very simple for us, so we can just continue on for the months to come, working off of that.
Okay. Do we need to vote on that?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I think you guys already decided last time.
I
that we
mean,
would
yeah,
base it off of the
we
tier.
just revisit it and, okay,
Yeah.
so everyone in agreement that we continue with the
Yes.
same?
Yes.
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 Okay, all right, then on to number 25, vote on future agenda items.
I have nothing.
Okay,
Lee, you got everything we need to carry over, right?
I do.
He always
okay.
does. Good like that.
And I just need to ask, we're still doing the state ad hoc is still gonna happen on the earlier Thursday, or do we know?
As far as I know,
Can you check on that, Tiffany?
Yeah, I'll double check. Right now, it is tentatively still scheduled for 10 a.m. on the 17th.
Okay,
okay,
just wanna make sure. I mean, I have it available and everything. I just wanna make sure that that's really happening.
And then the meeting's at 6 p.m. on the 17th.
Okay.
correct. Okay, so if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Everybody wants to stay here?
I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it then.
Director Kelly has seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, a motion carried 500. We are adjourned at 7:47. And Director Schoenberg, I'll be up for signatures, and then I'll be around to drop checks off to people and do all that. So
You're holding back the one check.
the one check is I'm gonna be leaving it on the counting desk. It has 2 signatures. It needs a 3rd signature, so it can't go out anyway. So I'll leave it in the office, and once we verify that and get the invoice, we can pay it, and then they'll have to bring you the check and you can sign it.
And Brahma, did we decide that the couple things you want to go over, instead of doing it Monday, we could do it on Tuesday?
We can do it on Tuesday. I'm gonna leave the